The honorable educators and my lovely oppositions. Recently, the policymakers makes a policy for selection of new students on primary and secondary schools based on the age. It means that after all competencies already been fulfilled, the one which born first have a more chance to get into the schools better than the one who born last, ladies and gentlemen. We are simply will abolish or simply not agree to this kind of statements, because simply this kind of statements will harm the essence of schools and also the essence of knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, in my argumentations, there will be two argumentation. First is the urgencies, and the first thing first, the urgencies. The urgencies itself, it will harming the future of the kids. Let me explain to you the future of the kids on behalf of the oppositions. That is the one who have a more age, and also on behalf of the government who the kids can ability and competencies, ladies and gentlemen. People in Indonesia is age is what matter, ladies and gentlemen. It means it's not ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me explain you the essence of schools. Schools in here is about the gradings. That it means that schools have a curriculum that's already been covered all the steps by steps, ladies and gentlemen. Means that it just needs the people who have capabilities in knowing and in learning of that curriculums, ladies and gentlemen. Means these people, these kids who have the more capabilities have the rights to be there, ladies and gentlemen. Once itself, because it will determine the future of the kids. Why? First things, simply because this policy will erasing the competitiveness, ladies and gentlemen. Why the competitiveness itself will become a big determinant for this kid, ladies and gentlemen, because somehow the competitiveness itself is what makes people achieve better, ladies and gentlemen. They wanted to have more knowledge and online. Meanwhile, this kind of will make a kid that they have the capabilities, but the capability is not as good as the others, but they are lazy, ladies, and just because they born first, they can have that spot, ladies and gentlemen, and this will harm the essence of knowledge, whether or not the knowledge is never be enough, ladies and gentlemen, and also the competitiveness creates a lot of knowledge in the future. Meanwhile, in the psychological effects, when the kids itself cannot go to school, they will lost their spirits to learn some things and so for instance that our the states serve to us on how there is private schools or even homeschooling, ladies and gentlemen, but somehow this kind of schooling itself is financially pricey, ladies and gentlemen, that not all of the people that born with the good IQs, nice with high IQs or high knowledge or high spirits to learn can go into the private school and also homeschooling, ladies and gentlemen. Whether or not, even if there is a sponsorship for the examples, but it cannot be covered all of those, ladies and gentlemen. So somehow to uphold the essence of the urgencies and also the essence of effectivities, we propose a proposal to that the government need to be facilitated both of these kids on the needs of the capability in the essence of the knowledge, and also the needs of the people who the kids who have all the essence of the essence of their futures, ladies and gentlemen. But somehow we need to erasing the favorite schools also, and also favorite things, ladies and gentlemen. More better if the government serve to us that the school have a diversity for both, so increasing the number of the people, the number of the peoples that can become into that school, ladies and gentlemen. But somehow, in how this work, it will have a selection by steps, just like this the current status quo. So it doesn't erasing the essence of the competitiveness, ladies and gentlemen. For so for the essence of urgencies, effectivities, and also the
thank you. Good afternoon, Juris and my college. We are talking about the I'm sorry, the network here is not so good. So let me rewind it. Okay, let me rewind it. Misters, those who born first usually get to experience more, and they usually have the less opportunity in the future, such as jobs and college. Yes, there are the curriculums in schools that helps the standard of the students is in the same stage, but unfortunately, not all of them has the same experience, has the same opportunity to have something more in the future. And let me add some arguments here. So the first point is, when we group the primary and secondary school grade years, so by the age, we can reduce the social gap. Because usually the younger the students, they came from the middle to high class families, which are capable uh, to afford private schools. Meanwhile, the older students often comes from lower and middle class, and the chance of tasting education is limited on the state schools. So when we use the age classification for primary and secondary school, it will help lifting the low-income families in the opportunity to get an education. And then the second one is using the term competency and intelligence. It's not clear what kind of intelligence are we talking here, because if someone can solve mathematical questions, does it mean that he or she can continue their study? And using age is beneficial in terms of justice here, because by using age, we can classify them more by the how long they have been learning this matter. And then the next one, the older the student, I have already said it before, the less opportunity to graduate or enter college, because some states college are limiting the students to have the for those who have age more than 22 years old. So it will lessen the opportunity for them to have the education. And then also, it is already stated in Permendikbud number 44 in 2019 that the use of age is actually beneficial and is used to just dividing the students in justice way. And then it is also found that this statement is not really is beneficial, because in for example, the primary vector used here is still the distance. It's not only about the age. It is the fact is for in Jakarta, only 148 students more than 18 years old that is accepted in SMA and SMK in Jakarta, and there is no one more than 15 years old that accepted in SMP. So it's already showing that not majority of the students that are not accepted in the school is because of their age. Sometimes it's also because of the primary is because of distance. So the age is helping the student to helps giving the low income opportunity more, but it doesn't lessen the other students from having the opportunity also, because this house reject the motion of abolishing the primary and secondary school grades based on the age. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for my lovely positions, the honorable educators. First of all, what will be abolished itself is on how the age will be the advantages of the kids that going to be accepting towards the school, ladies and gentlemen. But somehow we believe that of every people have a chance. We don't say that the people on who born first have the low knowledge. No, the diversity will be there, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, there will be no social gap in there. How? Because even the one with the age, so the one with the old age is already been accepted. Inside of there will be a diversity that the one who is lazy and the one who is smart, ladies and gentlemen. And one thing that will break this kind of the essence of the schools itself is these policies, ladies and gentlemen. Because somehow the effectivity, but somehow if they going into their schools, accepting to the schools without any competitiveness, things, ladies and gentlemen, and this will harm the essence of the students and also the essence of the schools and also the essence of the knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. So somehow, first of all, the oppositions is already thinking like every Indonesian people itself that age is the matter of they how long they study that and how long they can manage to learning that, ladies and gentlemen. But somehow the things is not on how long, but on how effective that they will learn and how they can know that stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, the kids that have the old age that is they didn't know they already learned but they didn't know anything of that anything apprehended by the kid that have the capability to know it like more faster, ladies and gentlemen. But the somehow these kids deserve to educate furthermore, ladies and gentlemen, rather than the kids that have to learn and stay there for a couple of years, for examples, or more years, ladies and gentlemen. So somehow, from the very first beginnings, that this kind of policies has already been disintegrating the schools itself on how they have to teach in the term of curriculum, ladies and gentlemen, in the term of grading, ladies and gentlemen, and also this in the term of the competencies, ladies and gentlemen. Furthermore, it will be more advantageous if the kids can capable to following the lesson inside the schools rather than they setbacks inside that schools, ladies and gentlemen. So, in the end of the days, policies will make this kind of policies will bring more harms rather than advantages, ladies and gentlemen. So, from the first very beginnings, the government teams proposed to win. Thank you.